What's up guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Summer Slay episode 8. Hey! We are back in my office, ready to film another Summer Slay video. Summer is literally around the corner. I'm so excited. It's been getting really sunny here in Boulder. As you can see, I am relatively red right now from the sun. Since summer is coming up, you guys have been asking me a ton of fat loss questions and questions about this cut that I'm doing, so I figured what a good time for a fat loss Q&A. I'm gonna answer a bunch of questions you guys left on my last Instagram post and kind of explain to you guys how I'm getting over, you know, any obstacles I'm experiencing in this cut, and I'm just gonna give you some tips and tricks so we can slay this summer together. Let's hop right into it. I tried to pick out questions that I saw repeated a lot so we can really help as many of you guys out as I possibly can. So this first question I get all the time, it is, during your cut, do you do lighter weight, higher reps, or do you keep it the same? Right off the bat, I'm gonna tell you guys, I keep it the exact same. So many people have this misconception that when you start a diet, you have to change your style of working out. I know people that will go from lifting relatively heavy to just doing zero weight jumping exercises because they think that is the more effective route for fat loss. I would disagree with that. If I were to switch from heavyweight movements to suddenly doing high rep lightweight movements, my body would overall be confused. I would probably lose the muscle I have gained, which is not my goal, and I wouldn't necessarily lose fat any faster. I think a lot of people don't realize that heavy weightlifting burns a lot of calories. If you can imagine having a ton of weight on your back, squatting to the ground, standing up, all of those compound movements burn a ton of calories, but it's also helping you get that lean muscle mass, which is really what makes losing weight fun. My body wouldn't look the way it does right now if I didn't incorporate heavy weightlifting. If I chose to simply just lose fat and didn't change my body composition, I wouldn't look as fit as I do right now. I would say keep your weight training style the same. If you're looking to sweat a little bit more, get your heart rate up a little bit more, simply take smaller rest breaks in between each set or each exercise. Keep yourself kind of running around the gym. Heavy weight training burns calories, it builds lean muscle, and it builds a beautiful, strong body. The next question is one I got all over my last YouTube video, all over this Instagram post. It is how to avoid a plateau and how to get out of a plateau. Plateaus are the devil of weight loss. A lot of people experience them, so if you are, don't feel weird. If you've struggled in the past, don't feel like you're not normal. Everyone experiences plateaus, and that is because our bodies love to adjust. Our bodies love to acclimate to whatever we're putting them through. And that's why our bodies are so awesome, but also we hate them. Love-hate relationship, honestly. Plateaus happen because your body is adjusting to the routine that you were doing. So for example, I hit a plateau about a week ago. Since starting my cut, I had maybe cut around 200 to 300 calories from my maintenance calories. And at first I was losing weight, but then I hit a point last week where I kind of stalled. So from there, I had to make adjustments to my routine to kind of reintroduce a new routine to my body and say, no, we're still losing weight here, we're not done. It's completely normal. Even the most seasoned fitness enthusiasts experience plateaus. It's very, very normal. You guys always ask me how to avoid a plateau. Unfortunately, it's kind of impossible, but in a way they're actually very helpful because a plateau is indicating that you need to switch things up. So you either need to change up your training, maybe you need to go a little bit harder, a little bit heavier, or it means you need to decrease your calories throughout the day. Another question I got was how many calories to decrease if you do experience a plateau. I would say I decreased around 200 to get out of my plateau and see a difference again. Along with decreasing my calories by around 200, I started to just move more throughout the day. You guys know I do my morning hike, I do my weight training, but I started implementing a little like power walk around my neighborhood with Lulu at night, things like that. There's a lot of ways to kind of subtly switch up your routine and kind of break that plateau. but unfortunately it does mean that you kind of need to switch things up a little bit. The next question is, what do your rest days look like? Do you eat the same, and are you at all active? My rest days are very important to me. I think they're a great mental break, a great break for your body. They're very necessary. Generally on rest days, I'm relatively active because we do the same morning hike every morning, and it's good for me mentally as well as physically. So I still do that hike every morning, and I still kind of run around doing errands and walking my dog throughout the day, but I don't touch any weights. In terms of eating, my eating stays exactly the same. I still track, I still stay on point. I don't eat any more or any less just because it's a rest day. I try to stay the same, just because that's easier for me to stay in the mindset of being on a cut, to be honest, from day to day. If I keep things consistent, I know every day how much I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna eat, how I'm gonna feel, etc, etc. The spacing of my meals might be different because I won't be having like a pre-workout, post-workout meal, but as a whole, the calories stay the same when I take a rest day. The next question is, what do your cheat meals look like? Greg and I love our cheat meals. As you guys know, I think we have a weekly date night where we go out for dinner, we get a little bit dressed up, we have some wine, we have some good food, we eat out. What I would say we strive for in a cheat meal, we always switch it up. It's definitely never the same, but we do focus on protein still. We always try to make sure we have a decent amount of protein in our cheat meal, and then of course on the side maybe we'll have like fries and things that are not protein based, but we definitely make sure that at least one of us is getting a protein so we can share it and we feel like we're working towards the gains still. We're not just like going balls to the wall, whatever you want to call it. The next question is, in your opinion, if you take 2 rest days a week, should you space them out or take them consecutively? In my opinion, and this is what works for me, I like to space them out because taking a rest day is really like a break for your mind as well as your body. And I feel like after I take a rest day, I'm raring to get back in the gym. I don't feel like I would need another rest day after taking one. And I also think it's more beneficial in terms of giving your body a break, because if you're going pretty ham at the gym Monday, Tuesday, and you take off Wednesday, then your body's probably ready to go again on Thursday. So I would say space them apart, but of course do what works best for you. Hi. Hi, mama. The next question I have is, what do you do when you're craving something super sugary? That is a tough one because I don't really get a ton of sugar cravings, but oftentimes, I heard this somewhere and I think it's true. Oftentimes when you think you're craving something, you're generally craving fats. Our body loves fats. So I would recommend having half an avocado, some almonds, make yourself a yummy little healthy fat snack. And in general, that really helps me with my cravings. All you have to do is track it in your FitnessPal, make sure you're staying within your macros. You're not gonna like ruin all your progress just because you had one, you know, gave into your craving. You can definitely make your craving healthy. If you need something sugary or sweet, I would recommend getting some Faye Greek yogurt because it has great protein in it, and sprinkling some blueberries, some stevia, some cinnamon, and that should help. Another way of helping your craving I have found is getting a yummy pre-workout like Bloom. Shameless plug right there, but seriously, in my day, I really look forward to taking my Bloom because it's really yummy, it's a lot of flavor, it's fruity and delicious. So, you know, enjoy your little supplement treats too. The next question I have is, do you keep track of the calories that you burn in your workout? I do not keep track of the calories I burn in my workouts. I know a lot of people like to use the Apple Watches and things like that to keep track, and I think it's fun. It's a good way to keep, you know, a good reference point. I wouldn't recommend putting it into your FitnessPal or including it in your daily intake, if that makes sense. If you're consistently working out every day, it's not really going to change that much, and I don't really see the point of adding the confusion. For me personally, I literally just keep track of my caloric intake, I keep track of my food, and that works really well for me. You need to be eating in a caloric deficit on top of the workouts you're doing regardless, and I think it will become confusing if you start eating more because of how much you burned and you may not see progress. it's just confusing. By all means, keep track if you find it fun and you find it a good way to keep a reference point, but I wouldn't recommend using it in terms of figuring out your caloric intake or figuring out how much you need to eat. The next question is, how do you stay in the cut mindset, and do you sacrifice other things in order to stay on track? I love this question. I'm definitely a big mindset person. My mindset shifts a lot from when I'm bulking to when I'm cutting, obviously. The first thing I do to make sure I stay in the cut mindset is I definitely control what I listen to and what I watch way more than usual. I really like to feed myself with things that are motivating and positive and empowering. So, you know, maybe I won't watch as much Kardashians or something, and I'll start listening to more audiobooks and listening to self-help books and things like that. Lately I've been listening to the audiobook by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me, and I love that audiobook. I listen to it while I'm on walks with Lulu. It's fantastic for you mentally, and it inspires me physically as an athlete as well. So I definitely like to control the media that I consume while I'm cutting. Also, I think I'm more disciplined on a cut. I like to have a more rigid routine, not just with eating and working out, but in general. I definitely do sacrifice some things while I'm cutting, which you don't necessarily have to do. But for me, it's just, I don't know, I kind of enjoy it. The next question I have is, what happens after a cut? So I see this question all the time. A lot of people will go on a diet for a good amount of time or for a very long time if you're on a big weight loss journey, and then they hit their goal, they reach their ideal body weight, and then they're not sure what to do. So generally what I do and what I will do on this cut is cut until around the summertime. During summer, I tend to maintain, so I just maintain the body weight that I'm at. And then when I hit around fall or winter, I will begin a reverse diet, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You slowly reintroduce calories, so you add in around 100 a week, and that really prevents your body from putting on a lot of fat at once. And it also helps you rebuild your metabolism, put on any lean muscle you're trying to gain, etc. Sorry guys, I just had to grab a sweater because it's freezing. So the last question I have is, what is an average amount of weight to lose per week? So I see this question a lot, and as I always say, it depends on the person for sure. But when I first started my weight loss journey, I would say I was striving for around 1 to 2 pounds a week. Some weeks I didn't hit that, some weeks I did, some weeks I did more, some weeks I did less. Don't beat yourself up if you're not hitting the exact same amount every week. That's very difficult to achieve. So guys, that is the end of this video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video.